Hello, welcome to My Dreams Academy. In this video, we are going to discuss Telangana State Transco Sub-Engineer Examination. Okay, which is held in 2018, part 3 video. Previously, from 1 to 10 questions, part 1 video, 11 to 20 questions, part 2 video, and this video is part 3 video. The power factor, generally we represent power factor with cos theta, okay, of a system is kept high. In order to, we need to keep power factor value high. Okay, first of all, before going to this question, we will discuss about power factor. Okay, so power factor, generally the active power P is equals to VI cos theta, where theta is the angle between voltage and current, and from this cos theta is equals to P by V into I, and another way of representing power factor. Okay, let us consider this is resistance and this is inductive reactance, this is the impedance and this is the theta. From this also I can write power factor value, that is R by Z cos theta. So power factor should be keep high. We need to keep the power factor value very high. So meaning of that one is theta value should be low. If the theta value is low, for suppose if the theta is equals to 0 degrees, so the power factor is equals to unity. What is the meaning of this one? Theta equal to 0 is nothing but whenever XL value is equals to 0, that is imaginary values, imaginary terms in the circuit is equals to 0, then it has only resistor. So the power factor for a resistive circuit, is unity. So we always try to increase the power factor. So why we need to keep power factor is very high. We will read the options now. Reduce the load handling capacity of the electrical system. It is no way related to load. Okay, it is no way related to load handling capacity. How? If the power factor is very high, how it can reduce the load handling capacity? This is wrong. Next, increase voltage regulation of the line. Okay, so voltage regulation is bad effect. Okay, increasing. So voltage regulation is increasing. It is not improving, it is increasing. The voltage regulation is increasing means that is the bad effect on the power system. Okay, so it is no way related to. So power factor and voltage regulation is there is a relation. So voltage regulation, that is percentage of voltage regulation is equals to percentage of R cos theta plus or minus percentage of X sin theta, where cos theta is the power factor angle only, but it is no way related to the power factor. Next, increase the line losses. Okay, the power factor increases, line losses will decrease. Line losses will decrease, not increase. Okay, so the option is maximize the utilization of a capacities of a generator, lines and transformer. Okay, if the power factor is very less, we have to take more. Actually, any generator or a transmission line requires reactive power. Okay, reactive power. If we keep power factor very high, then the So the reactive power consumption is very less, so that the maximum utilization of capacitors of generator, lines and transformers. So option 4 is correct for 21st question. Okay, the power factor can be represented as cos theta is equals to r by z, and cos theta is equals to p into p divided by v into I. And so for AC we have only one power. For AC we have only power, that is p is equals to v into I. Now coming for DC only one power. Now coming to AC, we have a 3 types of powers. One is active power, this is active power, and this is reactive power, and this is reactive power, this is apparent power. So apparent power S is equals to V into I. Okay, next active power P is equals to VI cos theta. Next Q is equals to VI sin theta, VI sin theta. So I can able to write this one, that is P is equals to S into cos theta. From this, cos theta is equals to P by S, P by S. Always we need to keep cos theta value is very high, so that this value should be low, or active power should be high, active power should be high. Okay, so this is the angle theta. Now I am going to read question number 22. Two waves of alternating voltages. Okay, two waves of alternating voltages of the same frequency are out of phase. Question number 22. So manaki two waves unnai which are out of phase, out of phase. So out of phase ante meaning 180 degrees. Okay, in phase, the meaning of in phase is 0 degrees. In quadrature meaning is 90 degrees. Okay, out of phase the meaning is 180 degrees, meaning is 180 degrees. So options, option 1 180 degrees, option 2 90 degrees, option 3 0 degrees, option 4 360 degrees. So option 1 is correct, that is 180 degrees. For a 22 question, for a 22nd question, so option 1 is correct, that is 180 degrees. If you wanted to talk in terms of vector, if this is vector V, that is voltage, this is vector I, if these two are in a same line, that is 0 degrees, 0 degree phase shift. If voltage is this one, if the current is this one I, the phase difference is 90 degrees. The voltage is this one, the current is in opposite to this one, 180 degrees, 180 degrees. Next one, in series RLC circuit at a resonance frequency, say, before going to see the options, first of all I am going to give you about resonance. Resonance, we know impedance Z is equals to R plus J XL minus XC. Whenever XL is equals to XC, whenever XL is equals to XC, then Z is equals to R, Z is equals to R. It will act as a pure resistive circuit. Okay, this is what resonance, this is what resonance. So inductive reactance is equals to capacitive reactance, then the circuit will act as a pure resistive in nature. Okay, so this is what resonance. Now at a resonance condition, the impedance waveform is like this. Okay, this is omega, that is nothing but frequency in radians. Okay, so XL value is equals to omega L, XC is equals to 1 by omega C. Whenever omega value is 0, XL value is 0. Whenever omega value is infinity, XL value is infinity. Similarly, whenever omega value is 0, XC value is infinity. Whenever omega value is equals to infinity, XC value is 0. So it will be like this, and this will be this is XL, this is XC. At one particular point omega, at one particular point XL is equals to XC, XL is equals to XC, that is nothing but omega L is equals to 1 by omega C. From this, omega square is equals to 1 by LC, omega is equals to 1 by under root LC, F is equals to 1 by 2 pi under root LC. This is the formula for a frequency at a resonance condition. Okay, now this is XL is equals to XC. At this condition, let us consider Z is equals to 3 plus J some value. Let us consider 4 minus 5. Okay, this is XL and this is XC. 4 minus 5, that is 3 plus J, 3 minus J 1. So what is the magnitude of this one? That is 9 plus 1 under root 10. If there is no this value, okay, this value is 4 and this value also 4. 4 minus 4 is 0. Okay, so Z is equals to 3. So which one is greater? Under root 10 is greater or root 3 value is greater? 3 is nothing but root 9. So this one is greater. So at a resonance condition, impedance value is very low. If the impedance value is very low, according to Ohm's law, the current value is very high. And one more thing, if XL value is equals to XC, the circuit is act as a pure resistive circuit. So for a pure resistive circuit, the power factor is UPF. UPF is nothing but unity power factor. Power factor value is 1 and power factor angle is 0. Okay, now I will read the options. I will read the question and options. So question number 23. In a series RLC circuit, at a resonance frequency, the option 1, current is maximum. I already told you, current is minimum or maximum at a resonance condition? At a resonance condition, the impedance is minimum, current is maximum. So option 1 correct kavadaniki there is a chance. And I will read the option 2, that is current is minimum. So this one is wrong. Next, third one, impedance is maximum. Actually at resonance condition, impedance is minimum, not a maximum. So this one is also wrong. Next one, voltage across C is minimum. Voltage across C is maximum, not a minimum. So option 1 is correct. Current is maximum at a resonance condition. Question number 23. Option 1 is correct. That is current is maximum, impedance is minimum. Now I am going to read question number 24. The question number 24 is from electrical circuits. Reactance offered by a capacitor to an alternating frequency. Frequency is 50 Hz. So before going to talk about this question, so in capacitive reactance, XC is equals to 1 by J omega C. That is nothing but XC is equals to minus J by omega C, where XC is inversely proportional to omega. Now I will read the question. That is, the reactance offered by a capacitor to an alternating frequency of 50 Hz. The frequency is 50 Hz. The reactance value is 20. The reactance value is 20 ohms. Next, if the frequency is increased to 100 Hz, then what is the reactance value? Okay, so XC1 divided by XC2 is equals to omega 2 by omega 1. We need to calculate xc2 value. So xc2 into omega 2 is equals to xc1 into omega 1. I need to calculate xc2, which is equals to xc1 is equals to 20 into omega 1 value. Omega 1 value is 2 pi f. F is nothing but 50 divided by omega 2, that is 2 pi into 100. 2 pi get cancelled, 50 ones are 52s are 2 ones are. So xc2 is equals to 10. The same question asked for inductance. So inductive reactance XL is equals to J omega L. Okay, J omega L, where XL is directly proportional to omega. If the frequency is increased, here the frequency is double. Here the frequency is double. So reactance is also double. XL is equals to XL2 is equals to 40. Okay, but capacitor reactance is inversely proportional. If the frequency increases, reactance, capacitor reactance decreases. This is what question number 24. Now I will read the question number 25. Question number 25, that is I have a one source of a 200 volts RMS and I have active power, that is 600 watts. So I have a reactive power 800 VARs. Okay, so what I need to calculate? I need to calculate current. First of all, if I need to calculate current, I need to know the relation between active power, reactive power, voltage. Active power, reactive power and voltage. So I will write one by one. So active power P is equals to VI cos theta. VI cos theta. And reactive power Q is equals to V into I sin theta. V into I sin theta. What is the relation between P and Q? If this is a P and this is Q, this is S. S is nothing but V into I. Q equal to Vi sin theta. P equal to Vi cos theta. Okay. Now, so P is nothing but Vi cos theta. Q is nothing but Vi sin theta and S is equals to V into I. So P value is 600 watts. So Q value is 800. S value will be calculated from the Pythagoras theorem. S is equals to P square plus Q square under root 600 square plus 800 square under root. So it will give 1000. I know S is equals to V into I, which is equals to 1000. So voltage V is given that 200 volts. From this, I is equals to V into I is equals to 1000, V is equals to 200. So I is equals to 1000 by 200. It will give 5 amperes. It will give 5 amperes. So option 2 is correct for 25th question. Option 2 is correct for 25th question. Now 26th question. The question is a 100 millihenry inductance carries sinusoidal current of 1 ampere at a frequency of 50 hertz. The average power dissipated by an inductor. Okay. So a question like that, a examination la naina ilanti question vaste, that is average power dissipation in the inductor, average power dissipation in the capacitor is 0. Actually inductor and capacitor does not dissipate energy, it will stores the energy. Okay. So the theory behind it we are going to see now. let us consider this is AC source and this is an inductor. Voltage V, is equals to Vm sin omega t, and I is equals to Im sin omega t minus the phase angle between voltage and current in a capacitive circuit is 90 degrees, is a 90 degrees. Waveforms for this one, this is the voltage and current waveform. Current is lags. ఇండక్టివ్ సర్క్యూట్లో కరెంట్ అనేది వోల్టేజ్కి లాగింగ్లో ఉంటుంది. సో ఇఫ్ ఐ డ్రా లెఫ్ట్ సైడ్ దట్ ఈస్ లీడింగ్, ఇఫ్ ఐ డ్రా ఫర్ అ రైట్ సైడ్ దట్ ఈస్ అ లాగింగ్. So that is like this, so if I multiply this two, so what I will get? If I multiply this two, okay, this is a minus, this is plus, and this is plus, this is also plus, okay, and this is plus, this is minus, this is minus, this is also minus. So plus into minus will give minus. So I will draw here only so that you don't confuse. This is minus and this is plus. So overall it will give this one. This is plus, this is plus, like this. So it will give a pure sinusoidal wave, with the frequency double than that of this one. If this frequency is 50 Hz, this frequency is also 50 Hz, the frequency of this one is 100 Hz. The frequency of this one is 100 Hz. Okay. Only one cycle it is giving 2 cycles. In a one cycle of voltage source it is giving 2 cycles. Okay na? The frequency of this one is 100 Hz. Now what is the average value of this one? Average value of the pure sinusoidal wave is 0. Okay na? So average value of pure sinusoidal function is 0. So average value of this one is 0. So average power is 0. This is applicable for inductor as well as a capacitor. Okay, as well as capacitor. Now which option is correct? For the question number 26, a 100 millihenry inductor carries a sinusoidal current of 1 ampere RMS at a frequency of 50 Hz. The average power dissipated by the inductor is, so dissipation is 0. Okay, so the average power dissipation is 0. Now I am going to give you question number 27. This question is from induction machines. I will read the question. That is, as compared to squirrel cage induction motor, as compared to that of squirrel cage induction motor, the wound rotor induction motor is preferred when the major consideration is, actually we have 2 types of induction motors, that is squirrel cage induction motor. Next one is slip ring induction motor, that is nothing but wound type induction motor. So we prefer this one sometimes, maintenance is very less. Okay, for this one we need to maintain this one. Okay, even though the maintenance is very high, why we are preferring this one compared to that one? Okay, for sometimes, because it has some advantage. It has some advantage. That is we can add resistance. We can add resistance at load side. So torque is equals to so 180 by ns v square s into v square divided by r square plus sx whole square into r2. So where torque is directly proportional to r2, if I add resistance to the secondary side of the motor, so resistance value increases. If I increase the resistor value, so starting torque will increase. This is the advantage of squirrel gauge induction motor when compared to this is the advantage of slip ring induction motor when compared to squirrel gauge induction motor. But what is the loss? If I use the same resistance at a running condition also, I will get I square R losses are high. What is the meaning of I square R losses? That is copper losses. Copper losses are high. Okay, copper losses are high. So I need to keep the resistance. I need to keep the external resistance only at starting condition, not at a running condition. So what is the advantage? That is starting torque is high. So for the question number 27, high starting torque, that is option 1 is correct. Now 28th question, flame proof motors are used. Flame is nothing but flame, that is heat. So simple ga cheppalante, so high temperature daggara it has to sustain at high temperature. Okay, that is nothing but flame proof motors. So flame proof motors are used in option 1 paper mills, option 2 steel mills, option 3 moist atmospheres, option 4 explosive atmospheres, that is nothing but at a high temperature. So option 4 is correct. Explosive temperature. At high temperature it has to be sustained. That is nothing but flame proof motors. Next one, 29th, candela is the unit of, we know already, candela is the unit of luminous intensity. Okay, luminous intensity is the unit of candela. Next one, inverse square law and Lambert's cosine law is associated with. Okay, inverse square law as well as Lambert's cosine law. Inverse square law, that is nothing but I ante illumination is inversely proportional to R square. If this is the light, if I go away from the light,